Hello, Facebook Ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook Ads Breaking News Podcast. Hello, Facebook Ads people, and welcome to another podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the Advantage Plus. The Advantage Plus is in our life. Everything started on a rainy day in September, actually. I don't know if it was a rainy day, but maybe for some of you, it was actually a rainy day. So, everything started then. We have the Advantage Plus now in our lives, and it's working. I have done several videos. I'm also going to prepare one video which is going to have with ad accounts and everything that you need to know about Advantage Plus, because I have realized that I have created 5, 6, 7 videos and all the information is scattered. So I'm thinking of creating one which is going to be a total guide for 2023 for Advantage Plus campaigns. Of course, it's going to be huge and my video editor is going to kill me again, but what can we do? So, a little bit about this month in general. I believe that the accounts are super healthy. By talking with friends and other people that they do ads and my own ad accounts, I can see healthy results and good results. In some ad accounts, I tried to scale a little bit, but I have reduced a little bit the spend because I felt like it was getting out of control. Nothing crazy though, just a small amount, and it's working. I'm also going to create a video about that because it's very obvious. You know, I was having X amount of spend. The moment that I was starting having less ROAS, I decreased a little bit. It started working again. So I want to create a video also with that so that I can show you how it actually helps you. You know, in theory, you could say that Konstantinos, okay, so big deal. It's not any big information. But in reality, guys, there are people, first of all, that they don't know it or they don't understand how the ABO optimization is working, because in that case, it's like we're working in the ABO optimization where we lower the budget in order to get the ROAS that we actually want. For some people, maybe it makes sense. For some others, it doesn't. So I will create a video and I will show exact examples of how it's working. I have already spotted the dates that I have done the changes and how it has impacted the ad accounts. And I'm going to create one video for that. Now, I also want to say at that point that a lot of times you're asking me to create videos with specific topics. It's not that I'm not hearing you. It's just that maybe I feel that I have covered this topic in another video and I'm giving you the link for that. Or, for example, I had one request to create how to test with smaller budgets for smaller ad accounts efficiently, and I'm going to create a video for that. The problem is that I have so much content right now, which I don't know when it's going to be live. So maybe it's going to be live in 1 month or in 1.5 months. Because apparently we have, believe it or not, testing it is important, but we have more important things like the Advantage Plus guide that we will have to do and everything, because 2023 is here. We're already on March and we haven't even uploaded about how to do lookalikes on 2023, how to scale on 2023 with broad targeting. Now I have to do Advantage Plus. So it's full of ideas and yeah, I'm not going to go to 4 videos per week. It would be devastating. Anyway, you don't care about that. You came here for information, so let's start. Advantage Plus. By the way, if you don't like to hear my stupid introductions and stuff, this is why I'm putting below on the video a whole roadmap of the whole video so that you can skip my me whining about the content or everything, because I should not whine, because it's my not duty. It's mine. Choice of actually doing it. Now, and no, nobody told me from the crowd that it was choice. I found it on my own. Let's start with Advantage Plus. So, Advantage Plus. Advantage Plus is, first of all, it's not available in all of the accounts. Don't spam me with messages. I don't have it. What am I going to do? If Facebook hasn't chosen your ad account to have it, you can do nothing about it. Even if you ask the customer support, they're not going to give it to you. You have to be eligible to be able to get to Advantage Plus. The point here is this. I haven't found any pattern that is going to be activated on your account. I have seen it randomly being available to other accounts that they didn't have it. The second thing is that I have talked with several Facebook reps or customer support to have it in other accounts that I don't, and they did nothing about it. And the last thing is that in most new ad accounts that they launch, I can see that is there live. Facebook announced that they're going to actually roll it to all of the ad accounts and eventually everybody's going to have it. But to be honest with you, it's taking too long. They said that months ago, even on 2022, and still it's not available in all ad accounts. And I can see accounts that they need it actually, and I don't have it even with high spends. It doesn't mean that if you have high spends, you already have it. So I guess you have to be patient if you don't have it, or take the risk of creating a new ad account if you're a new business and you want to have a new ad account so that you can see if it's available there. Basically, when you're going to create a sales campaign, it's going to give you two options for manual and for Advantage Plus, and you're going to choose Advantage Plus. I have several videos in this channel if you're more of a visual type and if you want to see results and how they're working for all the things that we're going to mention. And you can also go and check them there. Basically, I'm going to put also some thumbnails here, whatever, with the Advantage Plus videos, and so that you can go and you can see them if you want to see more content for Advantage Plus. Now that we stop with that, let's go to the technical side. Advantage Plus. Advantage Plus is all about, so how did it start? Facebook said, look, we are telling to everybody to do a consolidation, to do this and that. And you know that in this channel, we're against consolidation and everything. And they said, you don't do it. Okay, we're going to do one campaign preset with specific settings so that we're going to push you to do whatever we want. What is this? To have, basically to choose all of the options as recommended, like automatic placements or all the other things that you might be touching, and then also run only one ad, and inside there having several, only one ad set, and inside there having several ads, because we want to consolidate, we want to pass the learning phase, we want you to run automatic placements, we want everything. So they have done a preset like this, and to be honest with you, I don't care. It's working. And I'm going to use this and my methods, all of them together. Even if in one ad account only this is working, so be it. It's fine, okay? I'm not going to be the person that's going to say that just fight it just for no reason, okay? So I'm going to embrace it and say that it's working. I have tested it several times. There are some shades. First of all, when I run a lot of Advantage Plus in an account, most of the times I don't run retargeting. It's stealing sales from retargeting, that's for sure. So in other accounts that I'm running $2,000 or $3,000, for example, with Advantage Plus, I'm not running any retargeting because most of the sales are being stolen from the Advantage Plus campaigns. Am I fine with that? Of course I'm fine with that. I don't care of having a specific structure in my ad accounts. I care about ROAS, you know that. So the point here is this. That at some point, Facebook announced that they're going to have an option of you targeting only of the whole audience that you are targeting with Advantage Plus. It's going to be only 80%. It's going to be, for example, new customers and 20% old customers. And you could touch the different percentages. This option is gone, most probably because the Advantage Plus wasn't working very well without it. The point is, if I'm getting a sale which is coming from somebody who is being retargeted, and this person is converting, and then, by the way, we have this kind of scenario also into CBO campaigns with normal ads, not only in Advantage Plus. Facebook is stealing sales from retargeting or from very warm audience. And if you are having this sale coming, and I'm converting, and this sale is helping me to find another person, and then another person, then another person, from people that they never knew me, is it going to be a bad thing? The thing is that I don't believe that it's a bad thing. And I believe that whatever it's coming, even if it's coming from Facebook stealing a sale from Google Ads, or if it's stealing a sale from your warm audience, if it's going to help you find another sale, then everything is going to be fine. And this is why I'm against of excluding all of your past customers or of all of your past visitors, which I think it's even worse, from your from your cold traffic ads, because I believe that in that case, you are losing potential sales in the future. Now, when we are talking about excluding customers and stuff, this is an option that you're not having in Advantage Plus. And of course, this is why the Advantage Plus has lower CPMs from your normal ads, that you can do that. In general, it has lower CPMs from anything else that you're going to do because you're using automatic placements. So the more things that you're not touching and they have as preset, they have lower CPMs and everything, because TikTok apparently is dragging all of the discussion now about CPMs. Even if they don't have good results on TikTok, everybody talks about CPMs and that they are cheaper on the TikTok, and Facebook is trying to follow this route and have lower CPM ads that they are going to convert well. Anyway, these are technicalities, and in my opinion, if Advantage Plus is working, so be it. Even if in my normal ads, automatic placements are having better results than the other, even if the 4 placements only are working, like Facebook feed, Instagram feed, Facebook stories, Instagram stories are working, but Facebook needs to run it with automatic placements in order to give me better results, so be it. At the end of the day, I'm going to criticize it based on ROAS. And if Facebook wants to steal a little bit of money in the way, this is also happening in life. You try to sell a house, for example, and there are 20 people that are just going to take a chunk of this sale just because they are in the middle. Okay, Facebook is in the middle, like a middleman. They want to take more money from each transaction that is happening. So be it, as long as the ROAS is there. This is the situation with Advantage Plus. We say, so be it, Facebook. If you want to have this kind of behavior and put your own settings over there in order to have specific profit per campaign, and we can win out of that, fine, we're going to do it. So this is how the Advantage Plus came, and they started rolling more. They were doing some fundings, and they still do, which I'm going to mention a little bit about a new one that is running right now. And all of that means that now we're just focusing not on targeting, not on anything, not on lookalikes, nothing. We're just focusing on the fact that we want more creatives, because this is what is going to make the difference. By the way, about the thing that I mentioned earlier about being able to target only new, fresh clients if you want, they had some beta option that you could do it. Now they don't offer it anymore, most probably because they have seen that the Advantage Plus is not working that well. And now it's not an option anymore. But yes, after a lot of people telling them about this, they started putting the option of you being able to just target fresh people, and most probably it didn't work. Anyway, as I said, Advantage Plus is working. Now let's go a little bit to the technical side of it. It's all about creatives on that point, okay? And you need to have a lot of creatives. You're just putting several ads. You can put, I believe, up to 250 options. And also Advantage Plus, because it's a consolidation method, you can have very big Advantage Plus, like a $200, $500, $1,000 Advantage Plus campaign that you can run with several ads. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the optimization, but this is how it's working, and you can treat it like an A/B optimization, which means that if it has $1,000 budget, then you can go and you can increase it more and see if it's still working, or you can go and you can decrease it if you're losing on ROAS so that you can stabilize it. Things that are not happening with the CBO campaigns, because in the CBO campaigns, the whole budget is going to be distributed among a lot of different ad sets over there. But in the Advantage Plus, since it's a consolidation method, it's focusing more in just one ad. So this is the big difference between CBO and Advantage Plus optimization. So in the CBO optimization, when we're having our budget, what we're trying to do is that we're trying to see, we have a leading ad also there, which is spending a lot of money, but the leading ad there is not sucking 90% or 80% of the budget. In most of the times, sometimes it does. In this specific situation, when you're having your leading ad over there, this is what you can see, and you can have the leading ad. Let's say that your target ROAS is 1. You have your leading ad with 0.8 and several others in a CBO, which on an average, they're giving you 1.2 ROAS. Perfect, you're fine with it. In the other situation, if you have an Advantage Plus, your leading ad with 0.8 ROAS, you will never exceed the 1 ROAS. Never. Because it's a consolidation method, and over there, the leading ad really matters. So another thing, in a CBO campaign, you cannot increase or decrease the budget because basically what is going to happen is that it's going to go and distribute this budget among a lot of ad sets. More is going to go to the leading ad, less is going to go to the other ads, but it's going to disturb your whole balance. This is why in my philosophy, when we optimize everything, we go and we say, okay, we are left with these ad sets. Let's group them together. What did they spend yesterday? What is their average ROAS that I would get only if I had those? Perfect, I'm going to leave those and I'm going to lower the budget so that I'm not going to disturb the balance or distribute more budget to the extra, to the assets that I still want to keep. On the CBO is different because eventually the CBO on the Advantage Plus, it's different because eventually the Advantage Plus is going to optimize just for one ad. And this is the difference and something that I realized because, the whole idea about Facebook is not just do things. So I know how to optimize a CBO campaign, but I'm not the kind of guy who's going to say, okay, CBO, so I'm going to optimize in the same way Advantage Plus. We have to think, we have to analyze, we have to understand how the algorithm is working. So I realized pretty quick that it's working in a way that it's having a leading ad and then another one which is following or a second one. So what I was doing is that I was going on the first, second, third day, and I was watching if my lead ad was good, okay, if I was getting the results that I would want. And if I didn't, I was just closing it, and then another one was becoming the leading ad. If I didn't like it, I closed it. If I liked it, I kept it. So in that way, I learned how to optimize by just cutting the leading ad if it's not a good ad. And we said several times about the randomness of the initial results and everything. So the way that it was working, it's completely different from the CBO, that you could just cut one ad or two ads and then continue with the others. Over here, you are just working with one ad at a time, and the others are just following, and you can see whether you have as a second, as a third, but the first ad is the most important and the one that is spending all of the budget. Even I think today I closed one campaign that I had. My target ROAS over there it's 2.2, and I was having 2.1 after on the last 7 days. On the maximum it was profitable, but on the last 7 days because I'm watching the tendency, and my leading ad over there it was on 1.5. So what I did is I went and I closed it so that the whole budget it can go to others and it can find another leading ad which was going to have better ROAS. So the whole point is that follow the leading ad. It's like the plants. Do you know the plants they go, the moment you decapitate it, it goes to the other, okay? It goes to the sides. It doesn't continue growing to the top. So you have to decapitate the leading ad all the time, trying to focus to another one. And if the other one is the one, then you continue with this one until it's not. So this is how and even if you scale the budget, this is why you can scale the budget in an Advantage Plus campaign, because it's actually working with one ad. So you're scaling just one ad. You're not scaling a whole campaign, which is going to distribute the budget in several assets, which is going to cause a lot of issues. So this is the way that you're optimizing an Advantage Plus campaign. I hope it makes sense, but I have also videos that I explain it, and I will create also another massive guide for 2023. Now, the most important thing that I want to mention also for Advantage Plus, except from the budget, how many assets you can put and stuff, is that a lot of times you need to also control the amount of assets that you have with your budget. There are other accounts that they cannot actually, you cannot have an Advantage Plus with 500 because it's not working. You see that when you put it there, it's not working. So maybe you can have 2 or 3 Advantage Plus with smaller budgets. Another thing is that in smaller ad accounts that you don't have the budget, and you have, for example, 50, okay? Maybe it's good to run an Advantage Plus with a catalog inside, because the catalog is more effective to smaller budgets comparing to having your normal ads which need also bigger budgets, of course. Another thing is that if you have creatives that are working very well in a campaign, you should integrate them inside the Advantage Plus and see how it's going to work. And a last thing is that, in my opinion, if you have a small budget, only the Advantage Plus is enough even for retargeting. You should not have any retargeting. Maybe you should focus all your budget on Advantage Plus in order to have something working. And when you have more budget, then you can do also some small amount Advantage Plus. In big accounts, I can tell you that there are other accounts that I'm spending 2-3K per day and I'm just having a $50 retargeting alone because everything else is going to the Advantage Plus. And it also depends on the nature of the business, which maybe needs more retargeting, which means that at some point you will have to do more retargeting. But in most cases, I can tell you that Advantage Plus is stealing a lot of retargeting sales. Now, one last thing, which is the creatives about the Advantage Plus, which I want to mention is this. The Advantage Plus is a very good campaign if you want to start with big budgets, okay? But how can you scale actually there? First of all, when you have some creatives inside the Advantage Plus, you should not go and add more creatives inside there while the Advantage Plus is working for the reasons that we mentioned, because it has already made the choice, okay? It has a leading ad. So there is no point of you adding more ads the same way that you should not add more ads inside a CPO campaign. The decisions for the budget distribution and what's going to happen have already been taken. After that point, I want to mention also that when you have, for me, what I really personally like is that I have big budget campaigns when I can, or even $100 campaigns, okay? Advantage Plus. But I don't want to just have one. So the same principles that I'm following to other ad accounts with piling up good campaigns and optimized campaigns, it comes also here. And let me tell you my way of thinking. So when you have one Advantage Plus, let's say that you put inside 30 ads with different creatives. Because of the fact that it's focusing on one or two, if you want to respect your content creator or the owner that is giving you the ads, or if you are the owner and you took a lot of time to create the creatives or source influencers for UGC content, in that way, you need to understand also that because it's focusing on one or two ads, even if you close them, it's going to focus on 5, 6, 7, whatever. All the others are not being tested properly. So what you should do is that after you stabilize one of your campaigns with the budget that you want, duplicate the campaign and run it without the winning ads so that you can have now the option of being able to actually test also the others, which maybe are going to produce for you another profitable campaign. So now what do you have? Instead of having one campaign, you have a second campaign with other creatives and maybe a third campaign with other creatives. And all of this is piling up, helping you to scale. It's working flawlessly. I think yesterday I uploaded one video that I'm showing how it's scaling. The thumbnail of this video, it's actually referring to this video also because these are the results that I produced with this scaling method on Advantage Plus. Now, one last thing. The crazy method is working also with Advantage Plus. Why? Because the crazy method is working with everything, basically, guys. So, I don't hear anything about it because it's my little baby. So, the crazy method, how does it work? Let's say that you don't have the option of having a lot of creative so that you can scale with duplicating the campaign and removing 3 ads and then do that again and again. Let's say that you have 10 ads, for example, okay? And one of them is working very well. What you can do, and there are people that they have tested it after I posted it and they sent me messages and stuff and they tell me, wow, it's working and stuff. Duh, of course it's working. Basically what you do is you take your one ad, you duplicate it several times, exactly the same one, and you run it as a crazy method. There are also going to be hot pockets created there. Not actually hot pockets, because I believe that the hot pockets are being created in the ad set level, not in the ad level. But I believe that by having different ads there, somehow it's working in a way that I cannot explain it. So my way of thinking is this. The crazy method that we do, the normal thing is to duplicate several ad sets, and this is creating different hot pockets and you have randomness of the initial results. Now, with having one ad set and having the crazy method inside, it's like you're showing the same ad to the same audience, the same hot pocket, which is the ad. I haven't found an explanation yet why it's working. If you haven't found an explanation, the question is, why the f*** did you test it? Because it's in my nature to test everything with crazy method. I don't know why. It's a lifestyle for me right now. But to be honest with you, I believe if we see it working, maybe we can think that there are hot pockets that are being formed in the ad level. But I don't think that it makes any sense because the whole targeting is happening on the ad set level. Anyway, That's all I had. Just test also the crazy method with the Advantage Plus. Maybe you will like it. And that's all I had about the Advantage Plus. Let's talk a little bit about a new funding opportunity that Meta is giving about Advantage Plus. From time to time, because Meta wants to push the concept of Advantage Plus because it's working and because they want to see more people using it, what they're doing is they're offering a funding opportunity. I told you that I'm going to mention all of those when I see them coming. There's a new funding opportunity, which is basically they want you to do an A/B test and have one campaign with X amount of money as a budget, and then another one which is going to be exactly the same, but this time with 115% or 130% more budget. The minimum funding here is 5K. So Meta is going to give 5K, and the rules are this. You're spending 15K and they give you another 5K. So it's the 1/3. For me, this is not the 1/3 because you should spend 15K and they should give you the 10K if it's the 1/3. But this is what they say, that whatever you're spending, they're giving you the 30%. The minimum is 5K. So the minimum that you have to spend in order to get the 5K is 15K. The only thing that you should do is that you need to have this amount of money. You need to split them between two campaigns. And the second campaign on an A/B test, it needs to have 150% or 130% more budget. I'm mentioning this because this is the way that you should ask your Facebook rep about this. And maybe they will tell you if you are eligible for taking it. Okay? So I have a print screen over here from what they sent me. It says the hypothesis of this test is this: increasing overall budget and not just share-shifting budget from the BAU campaigns, don't know what they mean, drives more incrementally than BAU budget levels. I mean that BAU budget level, anyway, I don't know their thing for that. And then they have the control, which is going to be a campaign. 30 to 50% of the total budget should be allocated to Advantage Plus. And then they have 115% budget, and then they have 130% budget on the other cell, which is or and. You can do both of them or just one of them in order to test if it's going to have better results. The idea is that if you focus more budget in something, it's going to have more sales because it's going to have more data. I don't know. But still, it's a funding opportunity for some of you that you need to take a funding opportunity. It's fine. Also, they say here in the test structure, they say here, ideal candidate advertisers who have proven out the value of ACC, Advantage Plus, previously, and they are looking to scale its budget. Basically, this is another account that it's spending 5K and it's spending, let's say, 4,000 per day, and it's spending 4,000 only on Advantage Plus. This is why most probably they reach out. And then they say that the test structure can be conversion lift, which they say that's preferred. This means that they're going to handle everything. There's no way that I'm going to give them to handle everything. By the way, we believe that it's not an ideal offer, and me and my client were not going to follow that, but still I need to inform you about it. And then the other is an A/B test that you can also run it in the experiment menu, and you need to do it for 2 to 4 weeks. That's it. Okay, so basically this is a funding opportunity. If you are interested, talk with your Facebook rep, and if you are eligible, they are going to give you the funding. It runs until the end of the first quarter, just so you know. Now, so you have at least 2 months in front of you to do it. Something different here, and there are 2 different things that I want to say, and then I'm going to go into your questions. So I had one question from a guy who was asking, Konstantinos, why are you selling all of this and stuff? And it's always the same question. So for people that they're actually making money from this, they may think, for example, that I'm not making enough money, so I'm selling this in order to find clients. There are 2 specific reasons that I'm selling everything. First of all, I have invented all of these methods, and I really like Facebook ads, and I want to meet other people, see their opinions about Facebook ads and everything, which I really like. Secondly, I'm not afraid of you guys. I don't believe that you can do it better than me. Simple as that. This is why I'm sharing everything. And if somebody becomes better than me, totally fine, perfect. We can even talk and exchange information. I just share my passion about Facebook ads. I make zero money from YouTube. As you can see, none of my videos is actually sponsored. Maybe this is going to change in the future, but for now, it's nothing that I win out of it. But the most important thing from YouTube, guys, is that I get to have the chance of talking with some very good e-commerce owners that they are actually working with me eventually because they understand my philosophy and the way that I work. And I don't want to work with people that they don't understand Facebook ads. I want to work with people that I can have discussions about Facebook ads and we can actually improve stuff. So this is why I created, because I was looking for this kind of people. And to me, in my honest opinion, Upwork has shit quality. Nothing to say about it, but it's mostly beginners and stuff, and it's not established businesses which they need people with my expertise to scale their ad accounts. And of course, the other thing is that I'm not afraid of sharing everything, because I believe that even if you see everything, even if you do it, you don't have my experience. Okay, but even if you take the time of 1-2 years and stuff, because I have mentored people to that level, yes, you will have the experience, but it's totally fine, because I still believe that I'm very good at it. Okay, and if you become better than me, fine. So that's the reason. And it's just so you know, it's not everybody in the internet is Andrew Tate or whatever, okay? And I have never flexed any cars or money. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in a way of selling services or anything with that, or my course even with that way. And I will never do it. And if I ever do it, you have to unsubscribe from my channel and spit me in the face, because I'm not this kind of person. Okay, and you don't know. Maybe I'm going every month a very expensive trip. You don't know that, but it doesn't matter. I want you to be here not because you see this guy is rich, so I have to follow him because if he's rich, he's successful. This is bullshit. There are a lot of people that are pretending in the internet that they are rich, and they are not. So, in my opinion, I want you to follow me for what I show you in the Facebook ads, not because I drive a rented Lamborghini. Okay, because believe me, guys, if in my city I drive a Lamborghini, in the first 2 rows that I will take it, because of the bumps, it's going to be up. So there is no point of that. Okay, so that's all about it. Just so that we can be clear, okay, with whom you are talking to or whoever. And I really like the fact that there are people that they book me for consulting calls or to talk about their ad accounts, and they tell me that this is what they like and this is how it's going to stay, guys, okay? It's not going to change. When I sold my store, I solved the problem of my life. I have no problem of actually stopping now YouTube or anything. I can still have things to do. I just like Facebook ads, and of course I like to work with very big businesses. These are the reasons, okay? Now, one last thing about TikTok. I'm reading more and more articles about United States that they think that TikTok is actually monitoring all the things that the Americans are doing. And they are thinking of banning TikTok in the United States. To be honest with you, how can I say this without sounding racist? I also don't trust the Chinese. Okay, I said it. You know why? For the only reason that in their country, the TikTok is working in a completely different way. So in their country, for example, the smaller children cannot have access to TikTok until 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. They have access after that point. So they're behaving about TikTok in a completely different way. Also, I deleted TikTok from my phone because it's taking time for no reason. You're just watching people dancing like idiots, offering nothing. I prefer to watch an interview of Joe Rogan, for example, a podcast instead, by watching TikTok for 6-7 hours. You're opening it and you don't stop. So I believe that if this is a plan from China to make people even dumber, it's a very good plan. It's working flawlessly. Also, you can see people from TikTok becoming famous and believing that they're actually famous, which is also crazy. And then United States says that they think that they are monitoring the lives of the Americans for specific reasons from China. We also have the balloons and all of that happened recently with China with United States taking down the balloons. So I think that we are in a war now between USA and China, and I think that they want to ban it also. If they ban it, I think that everybody's going to go back on Facebook again. Not that TikTok is actually working right now. I can tell you that 1 in 3 businesses, they don't have good results in TikTok, while they have results on Facebook, even if it's more expensive. But still, this is massive news. And the whole idea is that the other thing is that if they ban it, they are actually it's actually against the First Amendment. So there is a very, very huge mess. But I'm still going to follow that and try to understand what is going to happen with that. But I still think that in either situation is good, because even if TikTok is going to stay, eventually, if it's going to become better, I'm going to go and see how the algorithm is working. In my opinion, it's a very big copy of how the Facebook algorithm is working. So it's like I'm going to work with the Facebook algorithm in 2017 and 16 and 18. And from what I see, it's behaving like this. There are people that they're optimizing for add to carts, for example, that it's working. So all the things that they were working back in the days with the Facebook algorithm, they are working now on TikTok. And this is what I'm saying to people that they're doing TikTok ads. This is what we were doing back in the days. So go there. Also, this is something that I have noticed to countries that they just enter in the Facebook market. For example, India, Pakistan. They are now becoming the markets that they are going to enter, and they have very low CPMs and everything. And let me tell you that over there, things that they have been working in the past on the United States, now they're working there. For example, having a video with video views and then retargeting. In India, it's working, but it's having lower CPMs and everything. So I think that this is what is going to happen with TikTok. Even if it stays, I'm going to go there and try to adapt and do, because I don't believe that the platform is bad. I just believe that the platform is just a baby right now, and I don't want to just go somewhere and just talk about CPMs without results, because I like to talk only with ROAS. That's all about it. If it goes away, it's good for us. If it stays, we will have to learn it, but there's nothing to learn because they just copied the Facebook algorithm, so everything is going to be fine. The knowledge is there. Now, questions. Let's go to questions. We have Alex. Hi, Alex. I talked with Alex recently. He's a very good guy. I hope that we can meet also. He's from Bulgaria. Maybe we can meet and have a coffee also. Don't start sending me messages now to have coffee with all of you. Okay. I met the guy. Now, Alex, he says, hi, Konstantinos and people. I have got a client who has just started with Facebook ads and only has 500 euros per month to work with. He has just over 600 likes and 600 products or so. I don't care about the likes, by the way. What would you suggest to start with in terms of audiences and type of ads? Catalog, carousel? Thank you very much in advance. It really depends. So if you have $500, how much is it? How much is it? Per 30? It is $16 per day. So 16 euros. So in 16 euros per day, I would see two things. If it's having organic traffic and he's having sales, I would just run retargeting. Okay, and if he wants to go away from retargeted stuff, he can give you more budget. But you at least going to have some proof of concept with him that the ads are working, even on retargeting. Secondly, if he has zero sales, I would run only cold traffic ads, and I will try to focus on his best sellers if he knows that he has any best sellers that they're having any sales consistently. If you don't have best sellers, I would focus on a catalog ad, trying to have ads with this very small budget. And if you have Advantage Plus, I would just do the $16 with Advantage Plus and the catalog inside, trying to get some sales, then see which kinds of creatives are working inside there. Not creatives, which kinds of products are your best sellers, and then try to create a lot of creatives for these bestseller products so that I can focus only on the bestsellers, not on the catalog. This is what I would do. But of course, I think it's a problematic situation when you have somebody running ads only for 16 or 15 euros per day. Now, but I understand that some of you have to do it because this is the budget that your client has. Now, he says, we have another guy, so perfect. So here I want you to see a little bit how people, because they have just a small experience, they just believe that this is happening to all of the accounts. He says, the landing phase destroyed my ad. I was getting like 5 sales a day before, but when the landing phase came, I start getting 0 sales and all the amount spent just destroys your ad. So he believes, because he had one experience with one ad, which maybe randomly lost the sales, that when he passed the landing phase, the landing phase destroyed his ads. And this is how you create this massive misinformation, no offense. But just because you had one experience, it doesn't mean that the landing phase is going to destroy all of your ads when it's happening. So don't take one thing that is happening and make it just a general thing for everybody. I don't believe that the landing phase is going to destroy your ads. But I do believe that the landing phase is not necessary. Then we have a question also from him that says, mine is spending in landing phase, but I'm not getting purchases. So now he's not getting purchases while he's on landing phase. And then he's making one question that he says, can I get purchases in landing phase? Now, let's discuss a little bit about the landing phase so that we can be clear here. The landing phase is when you're going to have 50 events of the optimization event that you put. If it's purchases, 50 purchases. If it's add to cart, 50 add to carts. In the attribution window that you're going to put in your ad set, which is going to be, I suggest to be 7 days, 1 day, 7 days click, 1 day view. That means that in these 7 days, you need to have more than 50 events in order to pass the landing phase. Now, this is not happening always, but sometimes you might pass the landing phase faster, not with 50 sales on, because it says learning and you pass it. Now, if it says active and not learning and you haven't passed the learning phase, it's another thing, but I don't know if it's passing the learning phase. Second thing is that in theory you need 50, but in my eyes, and this is why we're running also the crazy method and we don't believe in just one ad and everything, all of the things that we said earlier, it's not necessary. And I have ads that I prove it. I prove that there are ad sets that they pass the learning phase and there are ad sets that they haven't, and the differences are nothing, okay? Even I can tell you that in this video, I was having better results for the one that that it hasn't passed the learning phase. So in my opinion, you don't need the learning phase. And if we want to be pragmatic here, guys, for accounts that are spending $100 per day, $200 per day, you will never pass the learning phase. If we think about the 50, you will never be able to get to that point. Okay, even with one ad set, how many are you going to spend? So let's say 200 multiplied with 7, 1,100 divided with 50. It means you need to have $28 on cost per pay. Okay, you need to have, okay, it makes sense. If you have 200, if you have 100 multiplied with 7, 700 divided with 50 sales. Over there, you need $14 cost per purchase if you spend $100 per day in order to pass the learning phase with a 50. Most probably, you're not going to hit these numbers, especially in the United States. So don't be so fixated with the learning phase, because most of you that you have small budgets, you will never pass it. And even in bigger budgets, you cannot just focus in just one ad set because it's too risky. Because this ad set maybe is going to die and then you will have to start all over again. But Facebook doesn't care about that. Facebook cares about the theory. They don't care about the fact that you're going to stay without sales for 5-6 days until you find your new, if you are lucky, your new working ad. Also, the Facebook reps are not going to be fired if they propose something and it's not going to work into your ad account. Now, the thing here is this. The learning phase, it's not any magic situation that is going to give you better ROAS or whatever. If you ask me, yes, okay. If you can pass it, okay. But it doesn't make any difference, and especially in smaller ad accounts, some of you will never pass it. Now, I have seen ad accounts with more sales than 50 on the 7 days passing the learning phase. Or maybe Facebook is not just saying learning anymore, but it's still learning, I don't know. But still, I can tell you that it's not so important as you might think. Maybe it's important for Google, I don't know. But I don't understand the point of people focusing so much to it. It doesn't make any sense. And by testing, guys, I can tell you that, to be honest with you, even on ads that they never pass the learning phase, I'm doing totally fine. So there is no point. It is a point, but it's not necessarily something super important. Now, let's go to the next question. With this campaign, there is no ROAS goal. How does Facebook know what our target ROAS is for Advantage Shopping Plus campaigns? It doesn't, guys. And you don't have a ROAS goal on Advantage Plus, and Facebook doesn't know what is your target ROAS. This is why we're teaching this channel optimization, and this is why you need to know optimization, and this is why you're trying to close ads that are doing bad and do better, so that you can start getting the ROAS that you want for your ad account. This is not a bank that you go to the cashier and you say, give me $500, and she gives you $500 from your account. This is a situation that you need to optimize, you need to run, you need to test. If it was that easy, then everybody would put the ROAS that they wanted, Facebook was going to give it. It doesn't work like this. Now, let's go to the next one. Hi, Konstantinos. I'm watching your videos, but I don't get one thing, okay? How many Advantage Plus campaigns you can start at once? In other words, for example, you spend 50 euros a day. It is not a big budget. So how is it better to structure your ads? For example, is it better to have from 2 to 4 ads in one Advantage Plus campaign for 50 euros a day, or to have 2 Advantage Plus campaigns with 2 ads in each of the campaign, and to divide the budget for 25 euros for each of Advantage Plus campaign? And keep in mind that all audience of the country for the product is 500,000 and even less. And this is all the audience because the country is small. So Advantage Plus take purchase from retargeting campaigns for sure. And from my experience with Advantage Plus, there is no reason to make retargeting ads for those small audience. I already said that I don't like also to make retargeting when I run only Advantage Plus. There are 2 things that I want to point out. This is why I wanted to talk about this question. First of all, the fact that you are targeting 500,000 people, 500,000, it doesn't mean that you cannot spend, for example, 10K per day. You can. There are people, I can tell you, in your country that they are spending this amount of money. How do I know it? I will tell you. I was having one ad account. It was in Aruba, in the Caribbean Sea. The potential reach was 50,000 people, and I was spending 4,000 per day. Okay? He had a monopoly of home appliances, and I was spending this amount of money. Easily. Okay? So don't use as an excuse the 500,000 people. There are people that are spending this amount of money. Okay? So don't think like, oh my God, this and that. As I said several times, we don't, even 500,000 people can buy millions in stuff. So don't think like this. Now, if you have a product that has a lot of competition and stuff, yes, it's becoming more difficult because it's a smaller pool. But if you're selling something like this guy who apparently it's not difficult to sell home appliances, but he was the only one that he had stock in Aruba. So it made sense. And I know that maybe I'm profiling him even because he's still the only one that he's selling home appliances in Aruba. Anyway, now the thing here is this. You say about having 4 campaigns with Advantage Plus, 50 each, and how many ads and stuff. Do one Advantage Plus. Do one Advantage Plus with all the budget. Put as many creatives as you can inside. Start working with them and see what is working and what doesn't. The fact that you're saying that I'm having a smaller audience, so I'm going to do a lot of different Advantage Plus, it doesn't make any sense. So if you have a smaller audience, focus in one Advantage Plus with all of your creatives and try to see what you can sell with your creatives, and not just by segmenting to more Advantage Plus and everything. I hope that it makes sense. Now, if you're asking me how many ads inside you should put, with all the budget of 200, as many as you can. Put 20, 30, 40. Okay, and then start optimizing it with the way that I showed you in several videos, or we mentioned today. Then, he says that he has one more question. What do you think is a normal budget a day for Advantage Plus and an audience for 500,000? He's fixated to that, okay? The 500,000 and Advantage Plus. This is all the audience we have here. You see, he's super anxious about this audience. Nothing to add to this audience because, as I understand, the bigger amount of the campaign works for bigger audiences. But as you see, our audience is general, is small, and the Pixel ad account is warm, working, not for the first year. So as I said, it doesn't matter that you're in a small audience. It matters what you're selling in this small audience. Yes, it would have been easier if you have a lot of competition to sell in a bigger audience, but still, it's not something that is going to limit you or worry you so much. And on the other hand, I need to tell you that for me, at least 50 or 100, it would be the ideal for an Advantage Plus, like every other campaign. And then you can test a lot of creatives inside and see what is working and what doesn't. But I don't think that your problem is the Advantage Plus and the budget that you should put. The problem is that you are limiting your possibilities on your own because you think that there are not sales or enough sales in 500,000 people. Yes, there are. Okay. I hope that I answered. Yeah, normal budget, I think it's 50, maybe go to 50 is the minimum, I think. I would prefer 100 per day on Advantage Plus. And as for many ads, as many as you can, and then try to see which one is going to be your leading ad and all the things that we discussed. There's another guy here, something lol. It's his name. I really like his name. He says, great content as usual. Thank you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you'd approach something like a lower budget product testing. This is the thing that I was telling earlier that I'm going to mention and create a video, but I promised to him that I'm going to mention it here. This poor guy, I told him watch my podcast, and now he will see the questions and it's the last question, so you will have to hear all of the others anyway. But you see, I didn't forget you. The way that I would do product testing with smaller budgets is this. First of all, I don't believe in product testing with ABO and spending an enormous amount of money and trying to test because this money is not being compensated. And a lot of times I see agencies, I see people that they do ABO testing, they test, and it's just money that they dump on the side without having any results. And then, of course, they take one creative from there and they go to put it on the normal campaigns, on the conversion campaigns. And sometimes it's not even working because it worked on the ABO only. So, in my opinion, I wouldn't do testing with ABO and small budgets like we used to do in the past with $5, $10 and then move it to, I was also doing back in the days. I'm actually glad that I didn't start a YouTube at that point because I would have to delete videos eventually because I was doing also testing with engagement ads, $5, $10, watching the cost per post engagement, watching the cost per unique click, and then deciding if one ad is good so that I can run it. At that point, I was leaving my ads 5 days or 7 days without touching. It was completely different, and it have evolved, or I learned how to do better Facebook ads, I guess. One of the two happened. Back in the day, it was also working, but then I realized that it's too much. Maybe I also became more mature in the way that I think about Facebook ads, and I work with bigger accounts. So small testing with ABO, I'm against it. Two ways of testing. First of all, we have dynamic creative ads. You can go and you can do one campaign, several ads inside. One targeting that you have seen in your ad account that it has worked. If you don't have that, do several different audiences to target and do dynamic creative ads. Put your creatives, put your copy, and while you are going to have sales, you're going to also be able to test the different variations and see which one is working for you or not. So this is one effective way. Second effective way is to do to do Advantage Plus. When you have Advantage Plus, you can put your budget there, and while you are testing, because this is what Advantage Plus is doing, you're also having sales. So I don't believe in testing, then moving to sales. I also believe it's just something that agencies are doing so that they can take more time with you. Okay, so they say 1 month testing. You're going to lose all of your money for 1 month just because we want to test. Then 1 month we do ads and you're going to give us 1 more month just so that if we didn't do well to do adjustments. Okay. In all of my contracts, I'm working with 1 month. I'm going to immediately, I'm starting ads. If it's working, you keep me. If it's not you, we can part ways. There's no point of doing all of this excessive testing because who the is going to pay for all of that, okay? If you're having all of your money being spent for 1 month for testing, also, if you're testing something now, maybe it's not going to work later. Who knows? Maybe you're going to be copied. 1 million things can happen. So I'm against of testing without having sales. So, and yes, you can have sales in ABO, but it's not the same. So put your structured dynamic creative ads or Advantage Plus campaigns, all of your ads inside, and while you are testing, you are also having sales. This is the correct approach in order for you to be able to compensate for some of this excessive testing that you are going to do if you don't know which creatives are working. And this is going to be your routine after that point, that you're going to keep doing it, and have some good campaigns working, knowing what is working. Whenever you see one of your posts or one of your creatives working, then you do it as a post also, and you are trying to build also credibility with comments and likes over there, and you're progressing on that way. So this is my view about it. Now, and I'm going to create a video about it, which I'm going to show also ad accounts and everything on how I test stuff while I'm having sales. Now, last thing, we are going to talk a little bit about the Freelancer Diaries. I have something small for today. I don't remember which one is this, but let's see. So it says Facebook ad special, like it's a gyros special, a Facebook ad special. Or a burger. Then it says, for a gym establishment, client currently has 230 members and is looking to acquire 70 more. So he wants 300 clients in a 2-month span. The agreement is if they do not see the end result, we don't get paid. So basically this guy is saying that, first of all, this guy is a genius because I don't know any other person in the world that he could close this deal. This deal is so good that nobody else could close the deal. So basically, this guy closed the deal and he said, look, man, you want 300 clients. I'm going to get you 70 clients. And if I don't, I will not get paid. And then he's not taking the responsibility of his action of saying this. He says, no, you are working with me. You're going to take also the responsibility with me and nobody's going to get paid. Why? Are we partners? I'm your employee. I'm working for you. You're going to pay me and you're going to take the responsibility. Was I with you in the way of you going there and saying all of these things without even knowing how to run ads? Guys, this is the problem of all the agencies and people that they don't know how to do Facebook ads. If you're so sure about this, learn how to do Facebook ads and do it on your own and take the risk. You cannot ask from people to do the job and not get paid just like your partners, okay? This is a wrong mentality to have. If you want to take the responsibility of your actions, do it. Do it on your own. Pay the guy and take the risk of not getting paid. Don't ask from people to have this, and by the way, closing a deal like this, it's like me putting a glass of water. It's easy, okay? Whoever you're going to meet and you're going to tell them this, they're going to say, okay, do it, okay? So, as you can understand, my problem with agencies continues because, and this is not his idea, by the way. All these idiots that they're proposing to 18 years old or 19 years old children to become agency owners, they're proposing that this has to be their pitch in order to differentiate. What the f***? This is not a differentiation. This is like being a beggar. Okay? So, that's all I had for you guys. Okay, I'm not going to express myself anymore. Have a nice day. I hope that you liked it. You can comment, tell me everything that you want. Watch my videos, and I'm going to keep using your comments over there in order to answer more of your questions. I'm also answering everything in written. And you can check my free course to see how the paid course is looking if you are interested, and you can check my book and my group and my website. Until we meet again, guys, be creative, be consistent, and I will see you in the next podcast. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News Podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.